Alright, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh. Barak Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makar Godash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, man. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's in transit is going to be called Talking Current Events and Scriptures, Talking current events and scriptures. I was sitting in my car for a minute trying to think of a topic, but I didn't really have one, So I said, look, man, I'll talk about current events that's going on in the news, in the world, as pertains to prophecy. Well, let's talk about politics. I do like politics. Let's do Bernie Sanders. Just beat out, Buttigieg, which came the fuck out of nowhere to win New Hampshire. And apparently they stole the Iowa elections from that guy, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is the 2016 version of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He's coming at a different angle. But, you look at Trump. When Trump was running, he was very on some impromptu type shit. He came at Hillary Clinton pretty hard, exposing the bullshit that she did. But when Trump got in office, he was singing a whole different tune. When you watch him now, he's clearly reading off a script, which lets you know that he's in the bag of the Zionists. All right, he's in the bag of Israel's best interest. So that means they have to have some type of dirt on him. I mean, shit, the dude married his daughter off to he married his daughter to one of the Kushners, so-called Jew, and before the Kushners, he was trying to get him. Before the Kushners, he was trying to get in with the Rothschilds, man. This guy was trying to get in with the Rothschilds. But they saw Trump as low level, so they didn't have it. She was supposed to marry Nate Rothschild. Is it Nate, the youngest one? But he didn't get a chance to. So he was trying to marry her into the Rothschild family. He's indebted to the Rothschild family, Donald Trump. You can look that up back in the 1980s when he had those failed casino businesses. He was bailed out by the Rothschild. That's how come you have Wilbur Ross, which is a Rothschild puppet, in the office right now. So pretty much once these presidents get in office, you gotta move at the beat of the so-called Jews. Anything that they want done, they get it done, or else they'll release whatever the fuck they got on you. You know what I mean? And that's why the United States is pretty much run, indirectly by Zionists. Zionists is really Jews, as some people call it, Zog, Zionist controlled government, right? So even though you have Bernie and these different guys running and shit, look, nothing you could do is gonna change America, man. Nothing's gonna take America out of the shithole it's in. Because pursuant to scriptures, this place ultimately is gonna collapse with several plagues. Let's start with the ones in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, I believe, where it speaks about the grinding shall be ceased. All right, in the ancient world, when you used to go in the city in the ancient world, you would always in the morning hear women grinding meal, and it'll be a sound like as it's two stones rubbing together. So it symbolized life and work, right? Now in a prophetic sense, right, it's the same shit, right? When you wake up in the morning, you hear the gates going up, and shit, business is booming, and coffee and bus train. So the scripture is saying the grinding shall cease here in America, meaning there's going to be a complete job loss. There's going to be economic collapse, primarily of the U.S. dollar, which dollar isn't backed by shit, and the feds are printing that shit as they still doing QE. All right, they're trying to print their way out of the situation, and I don't know how you could get out of debt by borrowing. You know what I'm saying? Especially with interest. You're supposed to borrow your way out of debt with interest. Debt with interest is not going to happen. So even though right now the U.S. dollar still strongest, or at least one of the strongest, I think it's second to the euro in terms of buying power, it's still holding up, all right? But they're playing with the markets, all right? They can manipulate the markets. At the end of the day, every fiat currency has failed. All right, every fiat currency has failed, and manipulating the dollar right now and printing more of it is nothing different than what they did in the ancient world called coin clipping, when they used to clip parts of your coin, parts of the gold and the silver, and then what they would do is they'll melt it down to print more coins, right? Until the point that they started using half gold, half bronze, and to the point that they just ended up with copper. So to the point it wasn't worth shit, right? So it's the same thing happening now with the US dollar. It is going to collapse. You got different financial people telling you to buy gold, buy silver, buy Bitcoin. Well, I wouldn't trust Bitcoin too much, because to me that's nothing but electronic fiat, right? Gold and silver has proven itself over the past 6,000 years. In fact, the scriptures tell you that Abraham was rich in gold, silver, and cattle, right? And if you put Abraham, right? Let's use a millionaire today, right? He has $1 million in cash, right? He has $1 million in cash. Fuck it. Let's say he has $10 billion in cash, right? And Abraham has his gold, his silver, and his cattle, right? Let's put both of them in a time machine, right? So let's take Abraham into this present time with his gold, his silver, and his cattle. He would still be a rich person because these things still hold value. And now let's take that billionaire with his billions of dollars and put him back in Abraham's time. Would he still be considered rich? No, because they'll just see it as paper, right? So gold, silver, cattle, land, these things are tangible, all right? And they'll always hold their value, all right? And the reason they keep printing all this money is because inflation only benefits those at the top, all right? Those who get their hand on the money first, and that's the rich elite, the 1%. Within the 1% get their hand on that money first. By the time it trickles down to us, the common folk, all right, the price of living already done went up, and the currency done already lost its value, right? So if, for example, right now you're making $15 an hour, right? By the time you start making $17, $20 an hour, everything around you done went up already, right? So it feels like you're still making the same amount. You're still living at the same lifestyle, man. Okay. So that's how they do it. And who's paying for all this? The taxpayer. All right. As it is written, the borrower is servant to the lender, and every single U.S. citizen is indebted to the Federal Reserve Bank. And then I don't even know how they call it Federal Reserve. It's not federal. It's not government-owned bank. It's a private-owned bank. All right. Get run by who? So-called Jews. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Now the wicked represents the whole nation of Edom, and the chief nation of Edom, that's responsible for the primary wickedness that you see on the planet Earth, is the so-called Jews. They run everything, man. All right, they run every damn thing: the money system, the banking system, the financial system, all the top media companies, music companies, everything, diamonds. They own it all. All right, they own it all. And you would think that if they own it all, and they're the people of the God, and they're the people of the Most High, as they claim, all right, because they took the covenant in their mouth, right, as the scripture says in Psalms. I mean, that's talking about Israel, but we can use it for the so-called Jew. If they're the so-called people of God, why is not everybody rejoicing? You own everything. You're in your power, right? So shouldn't people be rejoicing, as in the days of King Solomon? No, everybody's mourning. All right, because they're greedy. You know, they can't have enough. Their eyes are not satisfied, man, and they enlarging their desires hell, man. Everything they see, they want to touch and destroy. Which proves, this is a side note, I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but this also proves that they didn't go to the moon. You know, because if they went to the moon, oh my God, man. Thankfully, Rockefeller, how about Shimmy out shy for not making them be able to go there, man? Because they destroyed that thing already, man. They'd have harvested for whatever resource they could. Imagine, man, faggots on the moon. All right, you'd have homosexuals on the moon. Man, I don't even want to think about it, man. You know. But yeah, you know, the elections are coming up. I think Donald Trump is a shoo-in to win again. All right, but if he doesn't win, it doesn't really matter. Okay, every single president has the same foreign policy, man. Whether it is the beloved Barack Obama, which ironically got a Nobel Peace Prize. At the same time, he bombed 7 countries, right? He bombed, Pakistan on his 3rd day in. So, you know, how do you get a Nobel Peace Prize? They said because they gave him that peace prize because he took out certain nuclear weapons, but then they had to change up how that was counted. So that in itself was manipulation, you know. So I mean, whether it's Barack Obama, Clinton was the so-called first black president. He bombed a whole bunch of fucking people and started all these different types of wars, leading to the death of millions of people. All right, which we don't really care too much about. You know, we're only dealing with the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but the point being is, if these presidents are so true and so for the people, how come every time they get in office they destroy everyone? All right, they take shots at everyone at the behest of the nation of not the nation, at the behest of the state of Israel. Okay, and again, you cannot have a clean guy in office. You can't have a clean guy in office, right? Because what they do is, to get ahead in the society, you have to socialite. You have to be a socialite. Right? You have to socialize and rub elbows with those in higher powers, right? And what you do is, when they get to these different social parties with the elites, all right, they just gather information on you, all right? Why did Barack Obama get elected? Because secretly he had homosexual affairs with a guy by the name of, last name Sinclair, right? They put him to death once he started to expose that secret. Bill Clinton, they had Epstein Island on him, all right? The guy was a known rapist, and he was running drugs in and out of Arkansas as a governor. Hoover was a homosexual. I mean, so on and so forth, man. Abraham Lincoln, a cross-dresser, or his real name Abraham Springsteen, cross-dresser. So who else? John Kerry, real name Cohen, so-called Jew as well, was running around in mud and piss in the Skull and Bones. So they have dirt on you, all right? So you can't be a clean guy, because if you're a clean guy, then the Mossad can't have something to hang over your head. So they need some type of leverage, especially when you're dealing with people that already have money. All right, so everybody you see that come in your office, all right, the Clintons have a high body count of murders. Hillary Clinton herself, known lesbian, all right, her whole thing was she used to wear her panties for weeks and like when women sniff them. I mean, these people are into weird things, man, all right, whether it's cannibalism, child pedophilia, you name it, all right. So there's no way somebody's going to get into office without some type of dirt on them, all right? So when you have that dirt, then you can put them in office, and if they disobey what you say, you completely slander them, destroy their career, financially bankrupt them, cripple them, and that's it. So they have to do exactly as you tell them to do, all right? So don't expect anything different, all right? And I'll say this much, right? The elites of the society are moving at the beat of Yahweh Shai's beat, because the elites, as I mentioned in previous shows, they want a World War III as well, and America will get into World War III, all right? They're instigating it. So, that was just a quick token current events in scriptures, just went with the spirit, no real topic. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Hashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, Tizadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.